Hello everyone and Assalamu alaikum. This is Introduction to Psychology Part 2 by Dear Knowledge. Okay, so this is the chapter of learning, and you can see on the screen the chapter overview. There are lots of topics which we have covered so far in the chapter of learning. And in the lesson 1 we learned about the definition of learning, and then in lesson 2 we start with the types of learning. So there are basically two types of learning: the classical conditioning and the operant conditioning. So in the lesson 2, the part 1 was about the classical conditioning, and the part 2 is about the operant conditioning. And we have successfully completed the part 1, which is about the classical conditioning. If you have missed any of the previous lectures, I've given all the links in the description section. You can also visit the playlist section where you can find, you can get all the previous lectures that I have compiled in proper sequence for your ease. And the lesson 2 is about the operant conditioning, in which we also learned, we also covered lots of topics in the operant conditioning. So in the previous lectures, we learned about what actually is operant conditioning, what is behavior, what are the types of behavior, the classical, there are basically two types of behavior, the two kinds of behavior, the classical conditioning and the operant conditioning. There are basically two kinds of behavior. So then we learn about what actually is the difference between the classical conditioning and the operant conditioning. Then in this video, this is also about the operant conditioning, and in this video we will learn Thorndike's puzzle box and the law of effect in under the topic of the operant conditioning. So this is about the frustrating cats, Thorndike's puzzle box, and the law of effect. So Eedward Thorndike, 1874 to 1949, was one of the first researchers to explore and attempt to outline the laws of learning voluntary responses, although the field was not yet called operant conditioning. It was named after another researcher, which I'm going to tell you his name in the end of this video. But before that, it was not yet called as operant conditioning, but experiment was done on such terms which led to the discovery of operant conditioning. Just like the experiments and research of the Ivan Pavlov led to the discovery of classical conditioning. Now here you can see Eedward Thorndike was one of the first researchers who did such kind of experiments, which was totally based on voluntary responses. And we have learned about operant conditioning in the previous lectures, that operant conditioning include operant behavior, and in some operant behavior, operant conditioning means the conditioning of voluntary behavior. So Eedward Thorndike is famous for his puzzle box and the law of effect. So what actually is Thorndike's puzzle box? Now it is a typical puzzle box, or a typical Thorndike puzzle box. Now the cat is placed inside the box and can get out by pushing on the little platform to one side of the box, at first accidentally, but each time the cat managed to escape, it would be put back into the box until, through trial and error, it knew to push on the platform to open the door. So this is the image of a Thorndike's puzzle box. You can also see on the screen a picture which is shared with you. You can see a cat which is placed inside the box, and there's a lever on the one side of the box. So when the cat presses on that lever, it will get out, and then it will be put back into the box, and then again it will learn that last time I accidentally stepped on this lever and I just got out. Now I'm again put back into the cat. If I press on this lever again, I'll be again able to escape from this box. So this is the Thorndike box. Now we will learn what kind of experiment did Thorndike have done on this box, on the puzzle box. So what Thorndike did is that Thorndike placed a hungry cat inside a puzzle box, from which the only escape was to press a lever located in the floor of the box. So cat definitely do not like being confined, as anyone who has ever tried to stuff one into a travel box will know and probably has the scars to prove it. So Thorndike put the cat inside the box, and there's a dish of food outside the box, so the cat is highly motivated to get out. Now, Thorndike observed that the cat would move around the box, pushing and rubbing against the walls in an effort to escape. And eventually, the cat would accidentally push the lever, opening the door. And upon escaping, the cat was fed from a dish placed outside the box. Now, here the lever is the stimulus, the pushing of the lever is response, and the consequence is both escape, which is good, and food, which is even better. So the cat did not learn the connection between the lever and escape right away. So after a number of trials in a box like this one, the cat took less and less time to push the lever to deliberately open the door. It had made an association between pushing the lever and opening the door. So each time the cat rubbed and pushed the part of the box that had led to the freedom and food more quickly. So based on this research, Thorndike developed the law of effect. So law of effect stating that if a response is followed by a pleasurable consequences, it will tend to be repeated. And if followed by an unpleasurable consequence, it will tend not to be repeated. So this is the basic principle behind learning voluntary behavior. And in the case of the cat in the box, pushing the lever was followed by a pleasurable consequence, which is getting out and getting food. So pushing the lever became a repeated response. Now, who first called it operant conditioning? Thorndike's work began the study of voluntary learning, but the person who has the greatest influence on the field and who gave it the name operant conditioning was the B.F Skinner, and he is also known as behaviorism's biggest supporter. So we will learn more about B.F Skinner in the upcoming videos. And the next video is all about the B.F Skinner, the behaviorist. And this was all about today's video. If your concept is clear, you can like the video. If there is any point which was confusing, you did not get it, you can ask us in the comment section and we'll be happy to help you out. Plus, if you're new to this channel, you can subscribe to our channel, click on the bell icon so you'll never ever miss any notification. And you can also share the link of our video, the link for our channels with your family members and friends, because sharing is caring. Until then, Allah Hafiz.